Welcome to Wevoice community, our dear followers and our newcomers. Today, there is no bigger pleasure than open again our series of interview and remind you about Wevoice, that Wevoice is on a mission to give back the best version of you for 1 billion people in health, mind, performance, human connections, and to help people to transform their patterns in the matter of 7 to 15 minutes a day. And today I'm having an amazing guest with me. It's Miguel. Miguel, hello to you.
Hello.
And I'm going to give a couple of words. So Miguel is a person behind the stage who creates such a magic and delivering the massive value. Miguel is a cognitive behavioral therapist coming from Lisbon, Portugal. He is a mental wellness coach who focuses in increasing the awareness of people to come across that he comes across to give them the best version of themselves. And he is for 20 years now in the field. His experience is so robust and covers mental health coaching, hypnosis, cognitive behavioral therapy, family therapy, psychotherapy, and many, many, many more. So Miguel, there is no bigger pleasures than just to welcome you on the stage and let you shine. So hello, Miguel, again.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me today, Natalie. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here and speaking with you. I had the opportunity already to see your project, the Wevoice project, and I want to congratulate you for it. It's amazing. It's an amazing idea. And I think it would be a very cool tool for everyone in this world. So congratulations for your creativity and your initiative.
Fully received, fully received. Appreciate you tremendously. Miguel, just to jumpstart, I would like to share with people your story as a human being and as a coach. So if you could just give us a couple of lines about yourself, your story.
Okay. Well, as you said, I'm a psychologist and a coach. I work with people for a long 20 years now, maybe a little bit more than that. And as a person, I think that when someone as young as 15 or 16 or 70 years old choose to go to the psychology course, it's because they want to understand something about themselves or about their families. And it was the case with me because in my youngest years, I had some fights with anxiety, with depression, with learning disabilities, and even with psychosis. Actually, when I was younger, I was in some dark corners and I really experienced a lot of what is a lot of these mental health issues that a lot of people feel also. And that drives me to start to study psychology because yes, I was in a dark place, but I was always very resilient, and I was always with the emotion and the feeling that everything has a way out, like Jurassic Park. Life will find a way. I always had this azimuth with me, and that really helped me to overcome all my demons and all my difficulties, because I had a lot of difficulties communicating with people, learning, and even connecting to myself. I had a lot of difficulties in my identity. And the psychology were like a way for me to find myself and to work in myself also, and to heal myself also. And then I start to work very, very early in my 20s, 23, 24 years old, with teenagers that committed suicide attempts. So it was bada bing, bada boom with that team, my first work. And it was very funny because I could really understand them. I could really understand them. I could really relate to them. I could really connect to them. And in psychology, we know that the connection, the relationship that you have with the person, it's half the cure of the situation that the person is living. So even if in my youngest years I didn't knew so much techniques that like I do today, that thing of connecting with them and understanding them helped me to help them to find a way. And as I was helping persons, I was helping myself also. Because then when you work with people, a funny thing happens, Natalie. It's like, it's a kind of magic. I think life has some kinds of magics. And one of them, it's the person that comes to you is living the problem that you lived last year or that you are living now. So in a way, you are always learning with the people that comes to you in your appointments. And that was 20 years ago. And moving forward on time, well, I just can say that today I can deal with any situation that appears in my appointments. Any situation, I can really understand them, not only because I know a lot of psychology and a lot of techniques, but also because I came from that dark place, that psychotic stage place, and I was able to build myself as a human being and a person that today I really like. I don't know if
Absolutely,
I
Miguel.
answered your question.
Thank you for sharing your story. And indeed, this is a highly transformational one, and that allows people to connect to you and allows to indeed have this super broad perspective on what's really going on deep inside. And how do you think, why so many people right now feeling stressed and overwhelmed?
Okay, the world is changing, right? Not only because this pandemic of COVID, but the world is really changing with technology, for instance. And it's impossible to turn back in the future. The future, it's here. We just have to deal with it. And it changed very quickly. And us, as human beings, didn't change so quickly as the world did. Actually, in the books of psychology, last 5 years or so, it appears a new mental health disease that is called anxiety of information. That is something like, in my time when I was 20 years old and I had to choose my way, I had like 5 ways to choose. Nowadays, 20 years old people have like 100 ways that they can choose. So it's a lot of information, it's a lot of opportunities, and that may give us a little bit of overwhelming, a little bit of difficulty to find a way. So answering your question, I think the main problem is connected to identity, because in our days, if you don't know who you are and what you want, and you are just looking around to try to see something that connects to you, it will work very bad because you will not find yourself outside. Our days, more than ever, it's very important to every one of us really connect with our identity, with the person that we are, and mostly with the person that we want to become. It's important to have that identity really clear about. If you don't have, you will be just crossover by the line of time, by the line of society, by the line of technology. And sometimes in coaching, we do this kind of question. Okay, you want this goal in a scale to 1 to 10. How sure you want? How sure are you want that goal? And maybe someone says 6 or 7. That it's a good grade. But what about the 8 and the 9 and the 10? What is there? It's anxiety, it's fear, it's insecurity, it's doubts. So the road to the goal will be more dense, more difficult. If we want a goal, it's important for us to say that we are the 10 sure that we want that goal, not the 6, not the 7. If we give 6 or 7 to that goal, we have some identity issues yet to solve, to clear out. And the identity, it's a funny thing, Natalie. And I can say this because I came from a place that I didn't have any identity. I just have craziness. And I came to the conclusion that identity is not something that you are, but it's something that you choose to be. It's something that you choose to be. You will not ever find your identity, because your identity, it's every day it's changing. What you can find, it's the vision of the person that you want to be, that you want to relate to, that you want to compromise with. And we have to have that in this world. If we don't have it, we will just fell under the anxiety and stress and depression and all that disorders. You see my point,
I
Natalie?
so much resonate with what you just shared. Absolutely. If you are not on the driving seat of your life, yeah, this life is not happening neither through you, neither for you. You live the lives of other people as visions,
For sure,
just
for sure.
diluting yourself. Oh my gosh, I love how this conversation is flowing. And if we were to speak a little bit about CBT therapy precisely, why do you see there is such a huge potential in using CBT to unpack people, to become really, to let them experience the best version of themselves? And if there is any science behind it, could you please share?
Well, there are a lot of people and there are a lot of stages in the personal development of everyone. And the thing is, sometimes that person is already prepared to have a jump in their future, in their choices, but sometimes they have still to work in other things, to arrange their home, to arrange their past, to find a new narrative for their past. So it's not for everyone, but the ones that are more clean from their past, the ones that are more at ease with their value, really responds very well to that therapy. It's like they were just waiting for that to happen. It's just the board that allows them to ride the wave until the beach. It's like what they were waiting to happen. They are already in that stage of development that they just need that final push, that final clarity of vision. The scientific stuff, well, it comes from all the theorics of psychology and NLP and coaching and hypnosis. I think that nowadays the disciplines are starting to connect even more with each other, because the truth is there are no barriers between disciplines. There are no barriers. Us humans are the ones that need to put things in their orders and give name to stuff to just be able to think about them. But there are only one science, that it's the science of life, that it's the science of development. And everything is connected, and this scientific stuff that comes from the past, yes, they are important, but more important, it's to integrate all the information that we can integrate to adapt what we know to help that person, and not the opposite. It's not that person that has to engage in our way of dealing with treatment. It's important. I think it's important for us therapists to use everything that we know, hypnosis, family therapy, cognitive behavior, just to be the right facilitator to that person. Because you have this person that has to overcome some things, that has to deal with some things, and you have little doors that can work or not. And you try one door, like the mind door, and doesn't work. Then the behavior door doesn't work. Then the emotional door doesn't work. Then the breathing and meditation door. Whoa, it works. So let's go that way. And then you unblock that situation and the person starts to flourish. And then you can work with the mind, with the behavior, with the emotion. But first you have to find the right door to go in, to connect with them.
I see. And if you were just to give a definition in a couple of words for cognitive behavioral therapy, how would you just define it with a very, very key words? What is the, let's say, the mechanism behind it? Yeah, how it serves.
Well, it's touching some inputs of the decision making of the person, because you have thoughts. The thoughts express in emotions, and the emotions express in behaviors, and the behaviors really express in the outcome that you have in your life. So when you change a little bridge on that path, you change everything. And then the art is to find what is the bridge to change. And even when you can change the thoughts, but then you can put there between the thoughts and the emotion a little decider that is, I will decide if I will let this thought in or not. I will give in energy to this thought or not. And that changes all the process. But once again, it's important that the person has his own identity and what are their goals and what they want for life. Because if they don't have that, Natalie, they are just seeing what life is bringing. They are just seeing their bank account. They are just seeing that health issues in that moment. They are just seeing the relationships in that moment, and they think about what they are seeing, and they react emotionally to it, and they will have a behavior related to it, and they will provoke more than the same stuff that they are living. When you have a picture, a different image, a vision, it's different. You are not reacting to what you are living, but you are reacting to what you want to live. And that will change all the process inside of you, in thoughts, in decision making, in emotions, and in your behavior, and then bada bing, bada boom, in the outcome also.
So it's basically about finding your patterns that are working, that are serving you well, and that are not, and transforming them.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for sharing that wisdom. And I would like to ask you also about your sessions. How long does your session take? And does it work online as effective as offline? And indeed, how fast can you see the results?
It works online as it works. It works in person. It's the same. The sessions are about 50 minutes, 1 hour, and every session counts as one. People in one session feel already some difference, but to have some substance on it, some really changings on it, it's like at least 5 to 6 to 8 sessions. It depends person to person, and it depends to the world that that person brings to the appointment. So some people
And
need more. Yes.
Could you please give just one example, for instance, of the request that you would receive, and for instance, how this specific request can be resolved in this amount of sessions, or maybe in just one session?
Okay, it really depends of the person and the way that the person are able to let go some things that are not serving them already. Because when someone comes to your appointment and tell you a story about some problem that they have, if that story is about a problem, you have to first understand that that is not the right story to tell. That story, it's wrong here. That person, it's really believing a wrong story, because the thing is not life. Happens to all of us. All of us faces a lot of problems in our life. It's one of the things that are offered by our life. It's problems. And the problem, it's not the problem. The problem, it's how you deal with it. It's the narrative that you tell about the problem that you are living. So the first step is to try to change a little bit the narrative that that person brings about their life. Because if that person is unhappy, that narrative that he tells you, it's not the right one to have. So you have to change a little bit that understanding, and to raise a little bit their awareness, to see a little bit more outside of them. to upgrade a little bit the way that they are seeing the world. And when that happens, everything starts to change. The way that they react to people, to themselves, to the things that happen in their life, everything starts to change.
Just with one transformed attitude.
Yes, just bringing up a little bit more awareness about the problem.
And are there any side effects, Miguel, to CBT?
Well, there is a side effect that it's not a bad side effect, but sometimes it's hard for some people, because sometimes for you to get better, you have to leave a lot of stuff and a lot of old relationships in the past. You have to really reinvent yourself. And sometimes when you reinvent yourself, things that used to fit you don't fit you anymore. And sometimes some groups of people from the past don't deal with it very well, because everyone wants you to be okay, but no one wants you to live. And sometimes for you to be okay, you have to leave. So sometimes the side effect, it's for a moment you feel some loneliness, for a moment you feel some disappointment, but then it's like when you take something from your life, then life brings something new to you. So it's that process, the transformation process, that sometimes has this feeling of being a little bit more by ourselves. That it's really the truth. In a deeper way, we are just here with ourselves, and we are the only person that can take care of us. That is the truth, but it's a hard truth to deal.
To fully own here. And what is the activities that your clients need to do to get the best from the process?
Well, they have to really feel what they are saying. They have to maybe some journal will help, but most of all they have to apply it, because if you just have some insights and then you don't apply it, you just get stuck with your old you and nothing change. And to apply it, you have to let go sometimes some things. So that is a process. It's to let go some things and grab another ones and try new stuff and try to do things in a different way, even in couple therapy. And sometimes one of the persons of the couple says, yes, but that is not natural to do that. Yes, it's not the natural way to do it, to bring you here to this appointment. So let's start to do things that are not so natural yet. Then they become natural. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, Miguel. And can you combine your therapy with any other techniques? Certainly, since you have this huge horizon of therapies in your basket, you do combine them. So could you please share a little bit how it works and what works and what doesn't?
Yes, you can combine it. It depends of the person that you have in front of you. Some person deal better with like cognitive behavior therapy. Some person will deal better with some exercises of relaxing and meditation and NLP. Some persons will deal better doing first an assessment and clinical assessment to have a report that says everything that he has to take care of. It depends person to person. So I think it's very useful for the clinic, the psychotherapist or the coach, just use everything that he has in hands. In a way, doing coaching, I'm a little bit more easy in that work, because I'm a psychologist also. And most of the coaching process, it has the idea that you just can do coaching sessions to persons that don't have any mental health issues, right? And in these 40 plus years of living, I never met anyone that in any stage of their lives don't have any mental health issues. Everyone has mental health issues. So
that they don't know about.
at least in some moments of their life, they will have it for sure. All of us have it. So being a psychologist, it's also a nice tool to bring that persons that want just a session a coaching session, but then bring them to some psychologists work, some psychotherapists work before they go again to that coaching session. So it's really important to connect all the things that you know how to do and use all the tools that you can use. If you have a deeper understanding of human behavior, you have to have a map, you have to have a guidance, you have to have a way to read people, a way to read behavior, a way to read human development. Yeah, you have to have that. But having that, you can use all the techniques and all the tools that you can find.
Absolutely. You are the alchemist. Yes. And what about your clients? Who they are?
Well, I have a lot of clients. I work with a lot of different clients, since children, couples, young adults that are just finding the professional way to go. I have some football players also. A lot of football players are going to my appointments now, athletes. But most of the persons that I have in my appointments are just 35 to 50 years old, trying to find a new meaning in their lives, trying to find a new identity that it's more true to them, and trying to arrange their lives in a way that really connects to their true self. This is the main people that go to therapy. It's already someone that it's a little bit awakened to the reality that when you change something inside of you, everything outside will change. So it's most of the times are people very mature, very sometimes in the common sense you think, oh, it's crazy people that go to a psychology appointment. That it's not true. The crazy people never go to a psychology appointment. The people that goes to a psychology appointment are very intelligent people, people that wants to overcome their fears, overcome their stress, become a better person, change their life. It's cool people. I like them.
Which is the most normal reaction, indeed. And what does it take to work with you?
Well, just book an appointment in my site that is learntobe.pt, and we have the session, the online session. It's easy. Just go to my site. They have my schedule. They book an hour that is free, and bada bing, bada boom, it's done.
And I will share beneath the interview, I will share certainly all the data about Miguel, so you guys can also connect. If you connected with Miguel as much as I do, you'll have all the information. And before we wrap up, I'd really love to ask you, who are your mentors? What's your inspiration? Is there anybody who really impacted you tremendously to be where you are right now?
Yes, a lot of people, Natalie. From my youngest years of working, a lot of reference from psychology like Freud, Jung, Lacan, Bion. Yes, Bion, it had a great part of it. But then I also had some mentors here in Portugal, like Daniel Sampaio, that was an expert in therapy, in family therapy, and Nazaré Santos. And then I had another one that was also a Portuguese woman, a very bright Portuguese woman that unfortunately no one knows. That is Maria Rita Mendes Leal. Maria Rita Mendes Leal, that died like 2 years ago with 95 years or something like that. And it worked until the day of her death. And it was a brilliant mind that I had the benefit to learn from her work, and it changed all my practice. My that thing that were telling you about, to have a way of reading people, it came from her. It came from her. It was the glue that connected everything else. And then I have some coach that were very important for me, like Jim Hom, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, and lately Vishen Lakhiani also.
Yeah, vision is true visionary and true inspiration for
Yes, for sure.
very many people, including me. It was such a pleasure to work together on the umbrella of Mind Valley. And gosh, I don't really want to let go this interview and to wrap it up. So before we wrap it up, I would like to ask you, Miguel, if you were to share just one message with the Voice community, what would it be?
Keep growing, keep growing. Growing, it's like the drug in the good sense, because if you are growing, if you are all the days looking for something to improve yourself, something to learn, something to listen, some good stimulus to upgrade yourself, you are okay. But if you just leave it alone, you just fall down again. So I think it's important every day we have the azimuth of keep growing, keep learning, keep understanding, keep evolving. If we are in that path, we are okay. And maybe I would tell also to keep trying to remember the connection that ones have with the earth, with the nature world, with the other animals. Don't forget that. Don't forget that we are living this planet, and all the planet is connected. All the planet is connected. When we feel that connection, we are more strong. We have more resources to deal with anxiety, for instance. Anxiety just exists if we are just with ourselves. And the reality is that we are never just with ourselves. We are always connected to everything, but we don't have the awareness of it most of the times. So I would give these two advices.
Beautiful. Such a piece of wisdom, such a treasury of wisdom. Thank you so
Oh,
much
thank you,
for
Natalie.
coming in here and sharing your professionalism, your knowledge, your wisdom, your passion, your drive, and just your amazing energy. So
Thank you a
we
lot,
had
Natalie.
Miguel Goncalves today at Wevoice stage, and can't wait to talk to you again. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you
Appreciate.
also. Bye. Bye.